Well, welcome to another Black Business Month interview. I'm Bennie Smith Jr. and right now I got the iPad in my hand because I got to do everything from this seat right here because I'm actually getting interviewed today by none other than Mo Lowry. Yes, he's back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? Mo said, are you doing an interview? I said, no, I didn't think about it. He said, well, you should get interviewed, and I'm going to interview you. So he's here to interview me. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, I guess I do have a business.
Technically.
You know, I am black.
I think so.
Yeah. According to my birth certificate. I think it got black on there.
Negro something.
Negro
when
something.
You're born.
It got
Colored
one of those
Negro,
on there.
hey,
That's a little sick. Ooh. I wonder what it's going to be in like the year 2050. Will people be still called black people or?
Maybe they'll let the baby identify. The baby got the choice to choose.
That's what it's going to be now, yeah.
A blank
it's gonna
space.
Be the baby's choice. He get to pick what he want to be or it get to pick what it wants to be,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Right?
You gotta think carefully for they don't dig this up in the future.
Oh, my God. You right. Oh, my God. So let me put this down. Look like all our audio levels is cool. So yeah, man. So let's get right to it. It's your show, man. I'm here. I'm here with you today, buddy.
Yeah, I'm here with Bennie Smith, the owner of Suite 704 Studios, a great media company.
Yes.
And you've done a lot of things. So I guess the first question is, which business do you want to talk about? I mean, you did a lot in general.
Yeah,
so I mean, I guess
interesting.
What was the key point that started you to get here?
To Suite 704?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well. Suite 704 came about because, honestly, I was talking over with Tristan Rice because he didn't have a place to go whenever he came back home to Decatur because he lives out in LA now. He didn't have a place to come to record. Everything in Decatur or in the area was subpar. So he was like, well, we record with this type of equipment. We need this, that, and that, and that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure I get that so whenever you come home, you'll be able to record. Meanwhile, somebody wanted me to do video after I swore I'll never do video or any type of production or entertainment. I was done. I was just going to only focus on real estate. But somebody kind of pulled me out the trenches and was like, can you please do this for us, record this interview? So I'm all, okay. So that's how Suite 704 was born. The idea of Suite 704 was born at that time when I didn't have access to a studio. He didn't have access to a studio, so we decided to do that. But it all predicated and came about because of real estate. When I came back home, I was more or less looking for things to buy, things to invest in. You know, that was pretty much it. You know, Decatur at the time was the fourth fastest shrinking city in America. I read that while I was on the road, and I said, I'm going to come back home. We got all these millionaires and billionaires popping up in between Decatur, so they're not going to let Decatur fail. So it's something about my hometown that I got to go back and, you know, take a look at. So anyway, I started buying houses. One thing led to another. The house or the street where I have my investments on, at the very corner, there was a lady outside picking leaves about picking grass about the sidewalk, and which is the building that we're in today. I like, hey, do you know who owned that building? Just so happened, D.R. Roberts. Do you know D.R. Roberts? D.R. Roberts owned the building, and she was, I'll introduce you to my husband. Well, I already knew who he was, so it was kind of one of those things where it was like meant to be. That's how I got the building, because I was tired of going to McDonald's to have meetings. Yeah. That's really what it was. I was tired of be talking about stuff in public, and, you know, it was kind of confidential. So I needed a building to come, and that's how I ended up buying the building.
Huh. So... just like how you said, this came about of someone needing a service and you supplying that need.
Yes.
Is there ever, what's the best way to say this? A lot of the things you come out, oh yeah, you get profits off of it. If we say real estate, for example, but you also providing a roof over somebody's head.
Yes.
So is there ever, not necessarily selfish, but a time to where you just do stuff for yourself? Because even then it was like, yeah, you benefit off of this, but you did this with the need or
want helping other people, right?
Yeah.
Like the things I do for myself.
Yeah.
Man, when it's time for me to do something for myself, I read and I travel.
Okay.
That's what kind of keep me at peace. When I go out read a book, I get to escape from what's going on currently around me, and then when I travel, I get to see new things, and so that's really what I like to do when it's just for myself. Other than that, I feel like I've been working for about 5 years straight.
5 years straight.
Yeah, very little vacation time, man.
So being a part of a black business and doing things from the perspective of a business owner, what's your perspective on it when it comes to networking with other black businesses? Because some people, a lot of the people in the community or culture wasn't really taught, so a lot of people are learning things as they go on. So that professionalism aspect isn't really there compared to other cultures who have went through this generationally. So it's kind of not necessarily a turn off, but it's an adjustment.
Yes.
So what is that like dealing with the ones not only in the community, but seeing bigger cities with more black businesses or cultures that have things established compared to good old Decatur?
You know what? It's very important to collaborate. I'm just big on collaboration. You know, a lot of people always say, well, I can do this on my own. You definitely can, but you can get the job done so much faster and have a bigger impact if you work with other people, you know? And also, we are not as smart as we think we are a lot of times. So it's good to have other people's opinions and ideas to help you, you know, to shape and mold your goals. So collaboration is really big for me. I also love to share resources too, because I'm the type of guy that I'm gonna go find an answer. I mean, that's just really it. I'm gonna go find an answer because I come across a lot of things where I have these hardships, but I gotta get over it. But once I get over it, it's easier for me to tell you or tell somebody else, this is how it goes, go down here, do blah, 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 and make it happen, and then you'll get this type of result. So I don't mind sharing the information with other businesses, black, white, or whomever. Mexicans too.
Shouts out to the Hispanic homies.
Yeah.
So being a media company, would you say it's more challenging to keep up with technology or keep up with people?
I would say both. But it's harder to keep up with people because things change so rapidly.
Yeah.
But, and that whether that technology and the media and the people, but we are competing with a lot of, I guess you call it brain space, a lot of attention, because even the consumer or the person watching the content or enjoying the content, they have so many advertisements bombarding them every single day. They have, you know, television, they have radio, they have their own personal lives. So a lot of things and people and advertisers and producers are fighting for this one person's attention. So things change so much. So it's hard, like in trends, and you see, you know, you're big on social media. Trends happen all the time. Different trends, they go in and out. And, you know, what's hot one day might not be hot the next. So it's really harder to keep up with the people. And that's really what I think, though. Yeah.
Understandable. What's the legacy? What's I guess you ain't gotta tell the whole secret plan, but what's a part of the legacy that you build into give out this? Yeah, this is Bennie Smith, and this is what I presented. Whether you like it or not, I contributed and did my part.
Yeah, this is my Mount Rushmore. Yeah, what I thought about was honestly my goal, and it's not anything I want to keep secret, because it's something that can be shared and will be enjoyed not only for myself and family, but for everybody else. But it's mainly just to bring up the neighborhood where I grew up in, where my family grew up in, just to bring that back into some kind of livelihood. When I grew up, I remember it being a different place, but now it's not so, I mean, it's getting better, but it ain't the best, you know? So my thing is to control as much as I can on one particular street and certain things around it. But if I don't actually own it, then I brought in some friends, some investors, other people who might not even thinking about investing now, might get the knowledge or understanding like, hey, let's invest into this neighborhood, because eventually, you know, prices are gonna go up. We can start building generational wealth, things like that. So I'm always pumping South Side. Let's bring back the South Side of Decatur. Invest, learn about real estate, learn about investment, learn about legacy building, so that way you can have a better time, I think, and enjoy it more on earth.
It's a great way to put it. So you speak on like a lot of real estate and how this came about in the real estate manner as well. How did you get into dealing with real estate? Like,
How I get with
Yeah, what sparked that interest? Or
Man, because like I said, I was telling myself no more. No more. I'm not doing this media entertainment thing no more. I actually got I was put on blast on a reality show called Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. No, not Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I worked on Love and Hip Hop Housewives of Atlanta. And a particular cast member aired me out because they didn't put me on a show, by the way. But she just aired me out because of a situation that her and her family was going through. I was like the middle piece that unraveled some stuff in they stuff. Okay, so without giving out too much information, I guess you can get on YouTube and probably poke around and you'll find it eventually. Real Housewives of Atlanta. So anyway, while I was watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, when I went through the situation at first, because I didn't know it was going to be on TV. I didn't know it was going to be on TV. So long story short is this. I get a call from one of my homeboys. I can't say his name because then you will connect who I'm dealing with. He said, you're going to be on TV this Sunday. Meanwhile, I was on a road with a rapper by the name of Futuristic. We was on tour at the time. We was in Colorado. It was like the first leg of his tour. And I'm just, pumped up to be back on the road and trying to get my mind right and all this other stuff. Then I get a call after the very first night. Was in Denver. Next night was at Fort something or other. I don't know. Look, you're going to be on TV. And they talking about blah, 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 blah. Oh, my God. So I'm stressing because I had no idea that they were going to put that piece, that real life, into story. Into story form and put it on television. It went over. For them, it made them blow up, honestly. They blew up based off that spin on that story. They never did put me on. So basically, I got kind of like in a sunken place. Like more or less depressed. Like, why is this happening? All this stuff. So meanwhile, I'm on tour, but then like they down on me, my people on garbage. So I'm all, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it all alone. After this tour, I'm done. So that's pretty much was it. I did a tour. It was like good and bad because I didn't have fun while I was on tour, but I was doing what I love to do. So, but it wasn't fun at all. And I was trying to figure out what can I actually do to make money for myself, because I don't want to keep taking orders from people. I don't want to have to keep listening to somebody tell me or degrade me just so I can make a paycheck. Yeah. I ain't like that part. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get back into media. I'm going to get back into entertainment, but I'm going to get back into it the way I want to get back into it. So speed that up. I started to learn about investing. And because I knew I couldn't go back to entertainment and media. I've been doing it since I was 12, 13, 14 years old. That's all I knew. So what am I going to do now? Learn how to invest in stocks. I started with $5 a day. $5 a day, and I just started buying stuff that I liked. Only stuff that I liked. And I was buying some partial stocks, but then I started getting stuff like Ford and some of the blue chip stocks and stuff like that. Started learning about crypto a little bit because crypto was just starting to pop. Even longer story short, I connected with a brother by the name of Jay Morrison, and at the time he was in New Jersey, and start teaching me about real estate. Start teaching me about how you can buy real estate with little to no money. He started teaching me different strategies. There's certain things like that. That's teaching me, open me up to something I never heard of before. I'm like, wow, it's that simple. So you know how I go. When you search, you will find. If you knock, it's the door will open. And so I was pretty much into, getting knowledge on real estate. I saw that Decatur was the 4th fastest shrinking city in America. Then I also saw a news story that said Decatur has the number 1 place, like the value of your property. So it's like you get more house for your money here in Decatur. So I'm like, okay, well, this makes sense. I'm going home to buy a property. I end up buying 1 property, and that turned into now I own five rental properties, residential, and I got 2 commercial buildings. So, you know, but that took like 4 years. It took 4 or 5 years for me to get that, you know, but it's all different strategies that I use from learning the basics of real estate investing.
So would you say what you do now is kind of I don't want to say a happy place, but a peaceful spot for you? Because, I mean, being in the entertainment, helping musicians and being in bigger cities doing some stuff, you could be a part of the fast life. Yeah. And then those are all industries as well. You can smack somebody over the head with if you don't want to be fair with them. So doing this right here and being away from people, kind of managing things in your own way, is not even about the money anymore. It's just what you deem as peaceful now?
I would say so, yeah. That's a good question. I'm actually doing what I want to do now. So it's not like I don't dread waking up in the morning or I gotta be at call time at 10 o'clock and I gotta drive people around or work on this set or just whatever I was doing. Like, I don't gotta do all that stuff anymore. Like, I'm not rushed. I don't feel any pressure to do anything.
Do you appreciate it more though? Because like those lessons kind of helped you build all of this.
Oh, most definitely.
Separately?
Most definitely, because I wouldn't know how to do production. I wouldn't know how to run this while sitting here talking to you if I would have never had that experience. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the good thing about it. But right now, I don't feel like I'm at peace. Like I said, I feel like I've been working for 5 years straight. But, you know, peace is coming. Let me build first, and, you know, I know when to relax. I know when to take the gas off.
So what would you tell somebody who is in that position of, all right, yeah, they tired of being told what to do. They kind of want to smack their balls, but they need this job to get to the next step. What is that in the valley advice you could give?
Learn as much as you can from your day job or your 9-to-5 job or whatever you want to call it, from your W-2 paycheck job. Learn as much as you can. Learn as much as you can about the industry that you want to go in. So therefore, when it's that time to turn in your 2 weeks notice, because you still want to be cordial, you still want to, you know, have a little class about it, unless you're just getting treated unfairly, then you just walk out. But if not, give your 2 week notice so you can always leave on a good rapport and just start your business. Learn and start small. You know, use your W-2 as your investor. Think of it like that. So if you think about it as, okay, this job is my investor versus I'm an employee at this place of business, it might make you work a little bit different when you're there. You know what I'm saying? That's my advice. So just learn everything you can about the industry that you're doing. If you hate your job, just work through it and just hopefully you can find something better.
Any books off the top of your head you'd like to suggest to somebody who?
Definitely. The 4 Agreements. I think it's Miguel Ruiz. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Definitely listen to that or watch that. I mean, read that. Well, you can do all those nowadays, can't you?
So you was right on all 3.
So, what's another one that's big? The 50th Law. 50 Cent wrote a book. That's the very first book I read, The 50th Law. 50 Cent wrote a book after he read Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. So he read that book and then made the 50th Law, you know, based on that. And so I read 50's book, then I went and read the 48 Laws of Power, then read The Art of Seduction, and then read Mastery, and, you know, but, you know, there's a lot of books. I love books. Like I said, I just get lost in the books because I love information. But really, if you start off with Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the 4 Agreements, that'll turn your life all the way up.
Nice. Well, for the ones who want to get in front of a camera, learn some things, whether it's about sound, visuals, production, how could they come in here and learn something? Or where would they go to find your tips and knowledge and all those things?
All I can say is just go to www.thesweet704.com and just schedule a consultation. We have free 15-minute consultations. Let me know what you're trying to do. If you're a student in school and you would like to get an internship credit, come on down here. We figure out how we can work that out. But if you're just an average Joe on the street or Jane on the street, you can't leave anybody out. If you're just an average person on the street who just have a general interest in media or entertainment, and if there's any type of way I can help you, just let me know. Just come on down here. We'll figure it out. If you want to be behind the camera, we got something for you. If you want to be in front of the camera, we got something for you. Even if you're a photographer and you just need a space to shoot your clients, you can come down here and do all that. So we trying to open it up for every creative person to be themselves right here at Suite 704.
Boom, there it is. So ain't no excuse if you heard all of these words. You got a new book you probably ain't read yet that you can listen to if you can't read. If you wanted to get in front of the camera, behind the camera, learn something, someone's willing to help you, a free 15-minute consultation for the free $99. Or if you just didn't want to listen to none of that, you just can't stand your job, it's a tip to have a different mindset while you're at a job you can't stand. So if you ain't learned nothing by this point, it's a personal problem. You got to handle all of that before you look on the outside. With all that being said, we're going to conclude this interview.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you. Congratulations for all you done did. And to all the things that's coming in the near future.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
yes, hey, until next time, everyone, be sure to tune in.
Please do.